All right, traders, within this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the top 2 option plays to buy now. One of them is going to be a short-term swing trade expected to explode tomorrow, which is going to be Gamestop. We're going to be going over that. As you guys know, the meme stocks are currently ripping, and I strongly believe that they're going to rip into tomorrow as well, gapping up. So I had to play it safe and cover my short position on AMC. I was short from 31.58, as you know, at 800 shares, ended up covering today into the 41s. So let's get into this analysis. The first play is going to be Gamestop, and then the second play is going to be a midterm swing trade. So first things first, in terms of Gamestop, it is having a massive green day at a key support level. Your key support level is going to be in the mid 150s to mid 160 range. And in terms of when it trades at this range, for the short term, when it bottoms and when it has this explosive green day with the heavy volume coming in and with all of the interest of the meme stocks, coming back at their key support levels, this can go to, realistically, in terms of tomorrow, this can go to as high as $250. That's kind of the target that it is that I'm looking for, right? So that's what I'm looking for on Gamestop. I'm looking for it to explode tomorrow to around, $250. That would be the set price target. And in terms of the pattern, and in terms of the chart, the volume is there. This has the potential to explode. The interest is back at that key support level. Bulls are clearly going to be in control for the short term being, as they're going to take full advantage of this short squeeze. Also, what I wanted to show you is, whenever Gamestop has this big green day out of nowhere with massive volume, it tends to gap up the next day. Let me show you some examples. So I want you to compare this candlestick right here on the daily chart to similar candlesticks on the daily chart when this has happened towards this support range. So here's an example right here. Massive green day with a huge spike in volume. Next day it gaps up, then it continues to run as well. Here's another example. Massive green day. It is doing such a similar move to what it did on this day. Massive green day and then massive gap up, right? So I just wanted to point out, whenever Gamestop has these strong green days, closing strong at the highs like it's currently doing, it tends to gap up the next day. It might not be a massive gap up. It could go to 250, but the point is it tends to gap up. So the call options should be doing well depending on when you bought them. So in terms of the calls, that I ended up buying, I bought these when the stock price was at like $198. In terms of the strikes, I went with 210 and 220. So in terms of, 210, 220, 210 currently trading at 20 and 220 currently trading at 1750. So yeah, that's kind of my analysis on Gamestop. Towards the, once the market closes, I'm going to be making more content, more videos. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's going to do an in-depth analysis on my other portfolio. This is kind of my day trading focused portfolio. And my swing trading portfolio, that will be in more videos to come. Once the market is closed, I'll be sharing with you an in-depth analysis on all the options I have. But I did end up selling BABA call options. Main reason is, in terms of I sold them for like 90% profit return. I did end up selling these simply because it closed the gap, towards this 172.35 level, and it turns it into a resistance level, which is bearish, and I have to play it safe and I have to lock in the profit return on my contracts, which I did. You'll see that in the next video to come. And then in terms of the next stock, Wish, I'm still in Amazon. I think it's going to go to 33.50. In terms of Wish, this is a midterm play to fill the gap at $9.41. So in terms of the contracts, like I said, Gamestop's a short-term play. I would go towards August 27th. I wouldn't play more than like 2-3 weeks out on those. In terms of Wish, this is going to be a midterm play, September 24th. The contracts I like are September 24th. You can go in the money or out of the money. Me personally, I'm in the money at the $7 strike. So yeah, in terms of Wish stock, in terms of the pattern on this one, when this has a gap down and once the volume comes in, once it starts spiking like it currently is with the meme stocks, it tends to fill that gap above fairly quickly, typically within a couple weeks at most. So the pattern is right here. It has this gap down and then it starts to trend down and then it starts to bounce and then it rips and fills the gap above. So that's the pattern that I'm looking at. Wish to play for this gap to fill above at $9.41. So guys, like I said, the top 2 plays are going to be Wish stock, midterm call options. I would go with like September 24th, right around there. And you could play in the money like I did at the $7 strike, or you can play out of the money. In terms of out of the money, I would look into like, $8.50, right around that range. And then Gamestop could be more of a midterm play where it really does explode. But for me, this is expected to be like a short-term play, looking for a gap up tomorrow. So that's going to be a short-term swing trade. And then BABA, I'm completely out, played it safe, took my 90% profit return. And then in terms of Amazon, I really think Amazon is going to be exploding. Just to show you the pattern right here, has this bullish green trend reversal candle, has this bullish green trend reversal candle, and then gaps up the next day, gaps up the next day, gaps up the day after that, gaps up the day after that, and then you can see the next day, massive gap up. So in terms of history is currently repeating itself on Amazon, and this has huge potential to go to $3,350 to even a high of $3,385 by the end of the week. No reason to sell yet, as history is repeating itself to an exact T, and it's ripping, closing strong at the highs, squeezing bears and closing strong. So yeah, that's my analysis on the current stocks, and I'll give you guys an update on my swing trade portfolio and my analysis on everything like that. Make sure to subscribe, stay tuned for the further videos today.